Hi everybody, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Aaliyah and I post lots of readings and shares, messages, musings, and I also have a couple of personal videos. But there's something coming through that I'm gonna call a channel, and it's about the body, and it's about choosing how to approach your endeavor, your healing, your question. The first message that's coming through, and I'm going to trust that this is going to find who is meant to hear it, and as always, take what resonates. But the first message is the body. Body. It's all about the body. There's visuals of the channels within the body, the purity of the body, the phrase cleanliness is godliness, and all of these things point back to the nature of our physical bodies being containers or vessels for energy to flow through. And when things open in our physical bodies, when things clear, and even in our emotional or ancestral or energetic bodies, the more subtle bodies, when things move around almost like Tetris or like those puzzles with the squares, and you like move the squares around on a 2D plane to like reconfigure the image so that it's made, whole and clear again. As things are moved around, there will be like a new sense of emerging fluidity, clarity, downloads, insights, things like this. And our bodies, physical and subtle, are complex, multifaceted, multi-layered, intelligent systems that have their own intelligence. Our thinking and our thoughts and our mind is not the same as the intelligence of the body. Our mind can connect with the body. Our mind can analyze and quantify and qualify the body, but the mind is not the body. The mind and body should have a relationship. And so sometimes the mind and thinking, thinking to a point where you're pulled away from your body, away from listening, away from observing, away from witnessing. When you're pulled away from that, it can create more lockedness, tension, stress. What else was I wanting to say? So there's just this whole message about the body. Listen to the body. There was another message about, for whoever this is for, I don't know, but it's hard to put energy into words that feel perfect to me, and I'm very, 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 very sensitive to language. So I really want to get this across appropriately. Choices. There's something about choices. You have a lot of choices on what to do, on how to approach this matter of your body. You have a lot of choices, and you're like looking around. And there's something about feeling. When you are deciding what it is that you want to do and what's going to be best for you, what's going to help you heal, what's going to work, there is a message here about the one that didn't bring up any questions, the one that made sense, the one that clicked, or the one that brought peace, the one that brought a sense of stillness and inner quiet, the one that felt like it made sense, the one that didn't make you think, the one that didn't feel challenging, the one that felt right. It's the one that's aligned. Different people are at different places with their relationship with their own intuitive guidance system, and knowing and trusting what is the best approach for them, especially when the information or the answers outside is not explicit or scientifically explicit. So that's when intuition comes into play heavily. And so there's a message here about really trusting your intuition, and that thing that you think and you feel and you know on some level is the way for you, is your path, is your best decision. That's it. And it's like, you might hear my words and think, okay, yeah, that's then I know what to do. And so, but I'm just here to remind you that you already know, and I'm just confirming, like, this, whoever this is for is going to confirm your intuition already. And you know what thing is best for you. It's like, you know what your body is saying, you know what your body responds to, and you don't need to question yourself. You don't need to gaslight yourself. You don't need to doubt yourself. It's simply your body's intelligence. And maybe you're in a place where you're beginning to hear your body's intelligence in a way that you haven't before. Maybe you're in a place where you're around more people who honor that intelligence. And it's like, in that realm where things are clear and straightforward in an intuitive way, it's like your intuition is bang on. I mean, I believe that everyone's intuition is there, but intuition is something that needs to be built a relationship with in order to work and in order to be relied on. It requires trust. It requires surrender. It requires it requires humility to a certain degree, because, sometimes, our intuition shows us information or gives us knowledge or gives us just a felt sense of something that's right, and it's beyond our mind. It's a level beyond, certain preconceptions we may have. And I found in my experience that the more I deepen my intuitive trust, the more walls of doubt and uncertainty, specifically doubt, I come up against. And the reason why that happens is because as I'm trusting my intuition more deeply at a certain level, it's like there's levels, there's layers, it's deep, it's unfolding, and it's never ending, is what I'm finding in my own, experience. The more that I trust my intuition at certain levels, the more that I make decisions, investments, and choices, and really important decisions based off of my intuition, the more my ego will flare up, because the ego's purpose is to preserve life and to avoid discomfort and fear and death. And it's like, the more you cultivate your intuition, the more you learn that you can lean on it, and the more you know the blueprint of it. So the more reliable it becomes, and the more you're able to make decisions that are heavier and more significant, and you have an easier time trusting them, and it feels less like jumping off a cliff than it does like, putting a blindfold on and taking a step forward when you saw for a second that the path was there. I don't know if that's exactly even the words that I mean to say. I think that may have been more confusing than anything. But I think there is an up-leveling of intuition that's happening. You're like stepping into a world, a realm where you have a lot of doors opening up, a lot of things opening up for you in terms of the support that you need. And your intuition is like becoming even sharper. It's becoming even sharper, and it's like you can think something or just something will come into your mind and you'll just know like what like you'll just receive this information. It doesn't even need to make sense. It doesn't even need to be right in front of you explicitly for you to like pick up on it. But that's happening more and more. And like, you know, you can trust your intuition, and you will see that the more you trust it, it's just going to be affirmed. And you don't even need the external validation or confirmation before making a decision, making an important choice, making an investment. You're going to know. You're just going to know. And your ideas of the people that you think will be supportive will change or become even more refined. Like your intuition is just sharpening. It's just sharpening. So those were just a couple messages coming through. And to be honest with you, I feel self-conscious. I feel kind of crazy. I feel a little weird sharing this because I haven't done like a channel message proper in a while. And, you know, I'm going through something similar and my intuition is kind of increasing. So, you know, again, if you're here and this found you, you know, let this be your confirmation. And if this is for you, if you resonate, let it be your confirmation that your intuition is just sharpening. And it's just going to bring more and more peace. It's like the same situations that you would find yourself in the past and you would feel like insecure or doubtful around, or maybe there were certain people or certain situations or certain environments or certain things that triggered a bit of this insecurity or shrinking feeling. But it's like you're entering this level where you can be in that situation and you're stronger in your own intuitive discernment than you are in your need for this person to tell you what you're looking for. Because not everybody is going to have the information that you already know. It's like you're looking around for what to do, what, you know, you want to learn, whatever. And your body, your intuitive sense, your intuitive tendrils, they already know the way. And I think you're just getting out of your way more and more. And this felt really clunky. I felt really clunky, but it's fine. I'm going to post this anyway. Body. Intuition is sharpening. Your body is the I'm just seeing these like copper rods in my mind. Your body is the GPS. Your intuition is the GPS. Your internal navigation system, and it's just getting sharper. It's getting sharper, and you're like honing in on the coordinates of where to go, and what to do, and what to choose. And it's like a new level. You're entering a new level, so it's going to feel vulnerable at first. You might feel insecure and uncomfortable, but it's things are evolving. So I'm going to pull some cards to see if there's any, you know, other messages and stuff that want to come out as well. By the way, I think someone commented on my shirt recently. You're going to see me wearing this shirt a lot. It's like my lounging tie-dye neon favorite shirt. Okay. So we have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so that's very much like body movement, earth, initiation. There is this sense of moving forward from an empowered, you know, body sensing kind of place. And the Ten of Wands. Clarify. Okay, yeah. Very, very cool. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands, we have the Six of Wands, and then the Six of Swords. You are moving away from something, and whatever it is that you're moving away from is bringing a sense of more internal validation and recognition. This is really, really tricky to kind of communicate, and I think, you know, I don't even know if I'll have the words, but okay, we have the Empress. Yeah, so there's like a sense of like empowerment and inner abundance that you feel connected to. You feel connected to your intuition, and you feel like your intuition is waking up more and more, and you're able to draw from it like an abundant well of power. And it brings a sense of peace. And whatever this burden is, it's like you're moving away from it and gaining empowerment and self-confidence as a result of whatever it is that you're moving away from. So let's see, what is this? Whoa. Oh my God, we have 3 6s. Okay, so the burden. We have the 6 of Cups and Strength, and this is really interesting. I asked what the burden was, and we have the 6 of Cups and Strength. I almost feel like there was a stoic shell around a part of you, like your inner child, or a part of you that is more like emotional or so with the 6 of Cups and Strength, it's like the 6 of Cups is about childhood and nostalgia and emotional reciprocity, emotional nourishment, joy, peace, childlike, youthful, playful, peaceful energy, coziness. And Strength brings this harder, more stoic energy to this. So I feel like there was something maybe hurting your inner child, or like there was some protection around a very vulnerable part of you. There was something that you were holding to protect your inner child, to protect the most vulnerable part of you. And that's somehow being cleared, because it's almost like your inner confidence and your intuitive prowess is growing so much that your vulnerability and your inner child aspect or aspects are now able to be more free. And it might feel slow, but you're like able to play again. This is like a steady, slow, contemplative energy that's still youthful because it is a page. Okay, any other messages? Yeah, we have the Ace of Swords, so there is like a newfound clarity coming from this. We have the King of Swords, so clarity and certainty and a sense of direction, a sense of authority and discernment. The Eight of Pentacles flashed out before, but you've been working really hard or working really diligently on refining yourself in this process. You have the Five of Cups, so there's something leaving, some grief, some heavy energy that might come up at times that's on its way out. And there might be some disappointment in the past, some really heavy disappointment in the past. And maybe you relied on external sources, or you trusted someone or something that you couldn't, and you got let down. But now it's like you're rebuilding yourself from the inside out. And it's almost like that vulnerable, disappointed part is like finally learning its lessons, and that part is able to grow and come with you now and into the present, and finally be taken care of, and finally feel like someone is there for it, because you feel in yourself like you have become whole again in the area of wherever it was that you were hurt or disappointed or let down or disillusioned or felt vulnerable or not protected. But that protection is coming back, and you're seeing that you're in a position where you can trust your body, you can trust your intuition, and you're starting to be surrounded by people, situations that reflect that back to you in ways that, it was harder to come by in the past. And we have the moon, so I think that this has been a really intense process. It might still be intense. It might be very emotional, confusing at times. You might have tapped into a lot of patience throughout navigating this emotional uncertainty. But I do feel like you're right, moving past the fogginess and the cloudiness, and you're moving into more empowered, clear, like you're going. And I'm seeing in my mind, I keep seeing this vision of a dream that I had years ago of riding a magic carpet through a forest at night during a full moon. And there's the sense of unbridled joy and power, and it's like a confidence and a peace and a type of fun and a type of wonder that I've never known. And this energy is coming in. It's like you're leveling up. You're moving into a new realm where you are about to be gently awestruck. Like you are going to see reality in a way that almost highlights the beauty that was not reciprocated or that was shelled off before. Like, this is gorgeous energy. I haven't actually, as I'm doing this, I realize I haven't actually put in the same kind of energy into a channel, into a reading, in a while. This is different. This feels different. Yeah, you're on your way. It's like, get ready to finally feel like you're living in this like wonderment again. You're living in this dream, like your inner child, your fantastical, emotional, spiritual self is about to be like protected in a way that it never has been. And you could be the type of person who spent a lot of time in your own fantasies, in your own inner world, very sensitive, very to yourself, very connected with nature, very observant, very receptive, and growing up in the world, in different relationships, in different situations. And I'm seeing an image of a noisy restaurant, going out to hanging out in a group, hanging out with your family, going to a restaurant with all the noise, all the chatter. It's like you were able to kind of hold space for all the happenings, but it was like that, and like riding on public transportation, going to school, going to work, going somewhere, the noise, the lack of privacy, these little moments in your day-to-day that were like the antithesis to you actually freely experiencing more of your intuition and more of this, like gorgeous, childlike, pure, soulful energy. And I'm seeing a party popper. I don't know what that means, but I'm seeing a party popper going off. Someone like pulling the little tab and it just explodes. We do have the Six of Wands here, which is like celebration, validation, acknowledgement, recognition. So you could be, for some reason, I don't know, you could be celebrating a birthday. This could be about a birthday. And this could be, and then the phrase pop off is coming to mind. So you might soon or recently or in this time, whenever you're watching this, you might be coming up on a celebration, being celebrated, being seen, being celebrated. There's a huge sense of relief that I feel like is coming. We have the Seven of Swords that came out. I don't know why this came out. And we have the Page of Wands. I feel like you are, all too familiar with this energy that's like childish. I have a family member who tells me a lot, she talks about the difference between being childlike and childish. Being childlike is pure, joyful, playful. Childish is, maybe immature, underdeveloped, making mistakes and, hurting, causing pain on accident, childish, being inconsiderate, being unaware, not on purpose, but just, children are learning. But if, an adult is behaving in ways that are, blatantly inconsiderate or hurtful, it's like one might call them childish. And some people are just, they behave very childishly. They fight, they're dramatic, they're impulsive, they're brash, they let their own emotions, like their own unmanaged emotions, get the better of them. They hide, they lie, they're deceitful, they're impulsive, they follow their feelings more than their heads or their integrity. It's like this is kind of an energy of someone who's maybe confused and frustrated, and somehow it's like you might have had a kind of person or kind of energy like that, like latch onto you and cause some disconnection from your own intuition, because there's a theme here about trusting your intuition and the knowledge within your own body. And some people, some energies, you may have picked this up and even learned or adapted some of these, isms along your way, especially if you're sensitive and like hyper empathetic and, very absorbing of energy, and maybe have a hard time with boundaries or just energetic boundaries or discerning what's your energy. You need quiet, you need reflection, you need solace, you need to be listened to, and you need that space for yourself in order to hear what's going on. And you can't tolerate people who can't even hear themselves. They can't even hear themselves. This energy is kind of like a person who's just running around blind. And when people do that and they become disconnected from their bodies and themselves, it just wreaks havoc, and they're lost. They may as well be lost. And it's really devastating. And maybe you're feeling, an attachment or some grief or sadness for someone that you're thinking about specifically, who you see is going on a path that's maybe there's something that you can see, or there's many things that you can see, but they can't see. And we can't make people see things. So it's really, really hard to let go when we see people that we love and that we care about doing things that they're not going to follow our advice. They're not asking us for our opinion. They're just going to do what they're going to do and continue, just blazing across the world. Okay, so how is this? What is this? Okay, so now we have all sixes. All right, so I feel like you have reconciled with the fact that with the kind of energy that you can't tolerate, the kind of energy that causes you to feel unsettled and unclear and unseen. And you may still feel, pangs of hurt and pain from time to time, and especially with the moon, confusion, like, I can't fathom why this person is acting like this. I can't fathom how this person is letting themselves do this kind of thing, Moon, 5 of Cups, like loss, disappointment, sadness, and look at the little crying moon, So from time to time, you might feel grief over, it's like you're letting go, you're releasing people, you're really understanding that people need to walk their own walk and learn for themselves, especially if they're not willing to follow your guidance. And some people just need to blaze their own path and make all these mistakes and get hurt and miss things in the process, but that's just their path. That's how they need to learn. They need to get hurt. They need to go the wrong way and reach the dead end, or do the wrong thing and learn from it and then turn around. But it's like this shows me that you're in a place where you are very empowered about who is for you. And you're not selfish. It's not like you don't care about these people, but you recognize that you need to let go. And not everybody around you will understand that. The people that you are creating distance from and letting go of, the situations, the people that you're moving away from, they won't necessarily understand why you are appearing like you're changing. You know the answer. You don't need the validation, but it can be sad, it can be disappointing, disheartening, but this shows me that you're in a place where you're in the energy of reciprocity. You are respecting yourself, and because of it, you are entering an era of emotional renewal. I'm just gonna pause this really quick. Okay, we're good. So with the Six of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and the Hermit, this shows me that you are entering an era of renewal after a long period of isolation and self-containment. You're finally in this energy. You're walking in this energy of reciprocity, and you're feeling renewed. You're feeling cleansed of deception. You're feeling cleansed of any false beliefs or lies or projections or energies that were attached to you in some way, due to maybe other people's impulsivity, other people's deceptiveness, other people's lack of connection from their own selves. Let's see. What else wants to come out? I'm hearing a lot of noise. I think if this is for you, you are just like tired. It's like sick and tired of like the yelling and the noise and the arguing and the I'm right, you're right, and the like ego battles and the fights, and especially in a place where there is supposed to be healing and care and reciprocity and core values that are different than just like not based in the ego, not based in being right. But there was in like an inappropriate amount of like battling and fighting happening in a place, and these people just like they didn't do the right thing. They didn't do right by you or by what they were representing. Some people are charlatans. That's the thing. That's what it is. Some people don't represent what they say they do. And that's what you've learned. That's what you learned how to identify. You know how to represent what you stand for, and you know how to do it silently. You know how to do it humbly. You know how to do it without challenging the people who don't listen, who can't listen, who are not in tune. You went through enough of that. But no longer. That's an energy that, it was fucking heavy and probably lasted for a long time. It's probably something you were experiencing since you were a child, or for a long time for some people. Or recently. It's a heavy energy. It's kind of giving me chills. Yeah. No more misrepresentation. Like you have integrity. You got to this point where you went through the crap. You like went through it and you didn't let it affected you. It was heavy. It was annoying. It was confusing. It was hard. It made you emotional, and it made you confront all these like aspects of your ego that came in to try to protect you, but they really didn't serve you towards your mission, towards accomplishing the miracles that you believe in. And now you're seeing miracles. Now you're creating them. Now you're connecting with people who can also facilitate them. And these are people who are not getting in their own way. They're not getting in your way, and they're not getting in the way of the thing that matters. There's actually an energy of service. This card is like a Virgo card. It's a card of service. This is generosity. And this is reciprocity. This is abundant generosity. Look at those little disembodied floating hands. It's so funny. Yeah, real service. You had to come a long freaking way to get to this point. People might talk. You might for a while you might hear like residual arguments or residual, the pettiness that you were so bombarded by in the past is continuing to resonate mentally a little bit. So you might get waves where you hear those thoughts from these like impulsive, argumentative, righteous people, but they're not yours, and you've already moved past them. So it's like now is the moment where you're finally like healing and clearing everything out. Like you're finally clear of that BS. And again, there might be some residual energy from that left over. But it's you're going to be coming into more and more peace. I tell you, peace is here, and it's amplifying, and the people around you are going to be your people, and they're going to reflect that. Things are starting to open up a lot with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you've come a long way, and the time is up. The time of waiting is like up, I think. Things are moving. Two of Swords. You're no longer feeling stuck. You're no longer putting yourself in positions where you feel like you're at a crossroads. Seven of Pentacles, Two of Swords, both reversed. It's like you're moving out of that energy. You're moving into a new reality, like a new version of yourself, a new version of thinking, a new version of operating. There are still parts of your own ego, your own mind. And when I say your own ego, I don't mean that as a slight or an insult or whatever. What I mean to say is your frame of reference to reality, your scope of reality. It's like turning upside down, and there are certain parts of it that are turning upside down. It's like parts of you that maybe you identified with in the past, and those people who were impulsive and deceitful and disconnected, they fed off of that in you, but now you're letting that die. So there's this like disorienting kind of thing happening where it's almost like a piece of you is like Velcro. It's disconnecting. And so you're in this process of like, it's almost like you're peeling a layer of your old skin off. And it's like you don't even recognize who you were before, or this part of you. You don't even recognize it. And that's going to cause some incredible change. And for the longest time, we've had the Queen of Cups on the bottom. Contentment, happiness, wish fulfillment, peace, contentment, man. Home. Coming in. Community. Collaboration. Actual collaboration. Like, it's a collaboration because your souls, your energy, your integrity, your values, they naturally fit. So you don't have to try or force anything. Effort is one thing, and devotion, commitment, service, showing up, acting is one thing, but forcing is a different thing, and it's not in the picture. Ease. Letting go of dead weight, moving toward the thing. Control. Control and peace. Control in areas where you didn't have control before. Self-control. Sovereignty, authority. Play. Borderline flirting with life. You know, life can be flirty. You know, flirty energy is like free flowing, playful, whatever. Not like sleazy, gross. You know, like, ooh, I see you and you're shiny and I want something from you. No, not like that. Like, my heart is open. I have nothing to hide. I'm not in control of you or your opinions or perceptions. I am full of joy. I'm full of life. I'm full of youth. And I'm full of joy simply to express myself. And I have outlets to express that, to express my soul. Let's get one more. How nice. The final card is the Morning. That's a bonus card in this deck. Emergence, baby, emergence. Newness, brand newness. Waking up to a completely restored new version of yourself that you've never known before. I'm going to end this here. This was a lot of fun. I haven't actually channeled a reading in a while. I felt very open. That was nice. If you resonate with this, leave a comment, leave a like. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for those who have been showing up. My channel is growing slowly but surely, and it's nice. And I'm grateful to you for being here and engaging. And yeah, let me know if this resonated, if this helped. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, I do offer those. You can send me a message here or on my Instagram at Rustic Peach. All of that info is in the description, as well as the kinds of readings and services that I offer. That's in the description as well. And aside from that, a little self-plug. I am currently going through some healing things, some health challenges. I've made a lot of progress. I've had a lot of support, and I'm raising funds to continue to supplement my healing process with bodywork and mental health therapy to process everything. You can read more about what I'm going through and what I'm raising funds for, why I'm asking for help in the GoFundMe link in the description as well. Had to share that with you. There's no pressure to donate, but if you can, it is greatly appreciated. I appreciate you just reading as well. Feel free to share it. And thank you for being here. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.